Hi, this is Jonathan. Today is December 1st, 2007, and I've actually already uploaded this video series, but I'm redoing the beginning audio intro just to try to clarify a few things that may be a little confusing to some people, because what you're about to see is going to be shocking. And I've already gotten a lot of personal emails in response to it by people that are shocked by it, and I understand that. I'm no less shocked by it than you are. It's just that today is not the first day that I'm coming into knowledge of this. Okay, you know what I mean. Today's not the day that I discovered it. The day I discovered it, actually, I wasn't alone. It was with another person. And we were flying off the handle. We couldn't believe it. We were just going through every magazine we could see. What I'm about to show you is how to see the visual side of these subliminal messages. You're going to see them, all right? And what I've done is I've taken the raw images of just certain things that I've found, and then did my best to trace over the subliminals, the word commands that were embedded within the pictures, and some of them are going to be shocking to you. So the ones that I put up I made sure they were ones that other people could see the same thing. But even then, there are going to be a few where, you know, I looked at it and looked at it again fresh the next day, because I was doing this really early in the morning, and yes, some of the letters are slightly off in my tracing and whatnot, but about 90% of my tracing is right on. And unfortunately, when I uploaded the video the first time, the quality of conversion once you put it on this site is not good at all. So you can't really see. So the purpose of this video is to give you a guide. Now, all of these pictures I have gotten just offline. It's real simple. You just find the picture and find the area that I've traced it in the video, and just still it or put it on pause, and then just toggle back and forth between the picture and the video and look for yourself. Why am I doing this? Okay, what you're going to find is that when you start looking at these yourself, that if you really look for a long time, your eyes get pretty strained, and so your eyes can get tired, and sometimes you don't know what you're seeing. And this is just the nature of the brain, because if you've studied any physiology, you know that the brain cannot really interpret chaos. So it's always going to assign a pattern to it, which is the very basis of subliminal manipulation. They just do enough to predict how the brain's going to organize certain cues and whatnot into images or words, and then play upon that. So what I need to do is explain to you the most important thing of all, which is, why can't you see them? And that's very important that you know that. Why is it that you can't see them? They're right in front of your face. So what I'm going to do is give you a quick lesson to show you and bring you up to speed right away. What I want all of you to do is just go get a piece of white paper. And a lot of you have done this before, and if you've done it, then you need not do it. But those of you that haven't, do this. And what I'm going to have you do is check for your blind spot. And what your blind spot is it's just where the optic nerve innervates the retina in your eye, and so there are no rods and cones there to receive any input, and so you have no incoming signal to the brain from that part of the retina. However, you don't just see a void for any light that's focused onto that area of the eye, and I want to show you what you do see. So get a white piece of paper and take a pen and just make some two dots about 2.5 inches apart, and make the dot, you know, a good solid dot, like maybe at least 1/2 centimeter in diameter. And what I want you to do is to cover your right eye with, right eye, left eye, doesn't matter, but let's just say it's your right eye. Cover your right eye with your palm, and hold this paper about 18 inches away from your, directly in front of your left eye, and about 18 inches away. And I want you to stare at the right dot of the two dots that you've made that are horizontal, with your left eye. So with your left eye, make sure your right eye is covered and stare only at the right dot with your left eye. And make sure that right dot is directly in front of your left eye, about 18 inches in front of you. And then slowly begin to bring that piece of paper towards your eye. And what you're going to find, using your peripheral vision, the left dot that you've drawn will disappear. And that is your blind spot, okay? And if you look at the left dot with your left eye, then it will come back. Obviously, this you have to stare at the right dot with your left eye and bring it really slow towards your left eye, and the left dot will disappear. Well, what's happening there? You're not getting any input signal, so shouldn't it just be black? Shouldn't it just be a void? That's not what it is it? So what is going on? What do you see? You see white. You see the white paper, right? If you're doing that right now, you see that. What that means is that you're seeing something that is not there. And I repeat that. The white area, the white paper that your brain is fabricating over the dot because you're not getting input signal is not there. You're hallucinating it. But more specifically, what's happening? Well, it's true that in life, you filter sometimes up to 50% of that which you experience with your senses, but particularly your vision and audition as well. So how does that work when you're adding things in and taking them out? Well, what I want to show you is with the blind spot, what's happening. You're not getting this input signal, but the brain's not going to leave it as a void. So you are projecting into that image something that isn't there, and the brain will take what's nearby around that dot and utilize that signal to cover up the void. Well, get this. First of all, what I want you to really, really pay attention to is this one fact. When you do this, and go ahead and do it again, take the dots and bring it close to your eye, covering one eye just like you had before. Do you feel like you're in a trance now? Do you feel like you're dazed or out of it or drugged up or under hypnosis? No, not at all. This is just a function of the brain. You don't got to be dazed for this to manifest, okay? So if you have been basically conditioned correctly, your belief system will play the same role as your blind spot did. What I mean by this is if there are words, say, and I'll show you, you'll see them, okay, coming up in the pictures, that are right there in front of your face, but they're transparent. Say they're 90% transparent, but you should be able to see them. Okay? But if your belief system says it's not there, and you don't know to look for it, around every line of the word, your brain will literally filter that out, in replacement for not getting the input signal, like the blind spot. In this case, you just filter it out, and then your subconscious will project the nearby surrounding input signal to that which you're filtering out right over it. This happens before the image is mapped onto the occipital lobe. Okay? It's your occipital lobe where you resolve the image, and that's where you're interpreting the image visually. Okay? So all this processing goes on before you get the final image in the occipital lobe of the brain. So if I put a tiny little word sex on someone's forehead and make it transparent, and say it's only, half a centimeter in length, and very transparent, very thin lines. If you don't believe it's there, and you've been hypnotized to not see that, you'll filter it out and project the skin color and tone and everything right over it. Okay? And as you've seen with your blind spot, you do not need to feel like you're hypnotized or dazed or entranced for this to occur. All they need to do is formulate your sensory perception, starting as a baby. Do you follow this now? So a lot of people, when people are going around saying, you're all asleep, you're all under hypnosis,